Hello, California, and happy Earth Month. CalRecycle is so excited to announce that we are issuing our first ever Zero Waste Challenge. So join us by sharing your favorite way of reducing your trash footprint while fighting climate change and supporting the circular economy. Whether it's using your reusable water bottle, remembering your grocery bag, or doing one of my favorite activities, composting, we want to see all of your favorite activities. Post them here, and we will share our favorites all month long on our website. Hashtag Zero Waste Challenge.
Hi, this is Chris. I'm doing CalRecycle's Zero Waste Challenge for Earth Month. And I was thinking about, what do I do to cut waste? You know those little plastic forks that you get? I mean, I tell them I don't want it. It ends up in my bag, or they give it to me. Can't throw it away, or I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to use it. They don't work really good with cutting or poking. I just think about, what do I do when I go camping? Well, I have this great multi-tool that includes a fork and a spoon, but I'm not carrying that around with me all day as I go through town. But I can carry this. It's really handy. It's a spork, but instead of being plastic, it's metal. Even has a handy bottle opener, used for whatever. I could use it for a little chili. I could eat salad with it. So it's really great, and it's the sort of thing that will fit right here in a pocket. I also have sort of a carry-all bag I'll carry with me, and that'll do it. You can even put it in a back pocket. It's not get too bent up. But it's great for travel, but it's also great to just carry with you. If you use a reusable metal straw, have a reusable metal spork. It's a great way to cut waste, take that step towards zero waste, and a little change you can make on Earth Month this year.
You want to come help me? On the Zero Waste Challenge by doing one of our first and favorite activities every day for cutting our trash footprint. We're filling up our water bottles before we head out to our busy day. Join us by showing your favorite activities. Hashtag Zero Waste Challenge.
Hello, I'm Elijah. I'm going to show you how to save the planet. This is the compost pile we started a few weeks ago. A compost pile needs green, water, brown, and air.
Hi, I'm Sid from CalRecycle. We're having a picnic. What does it look like to do it in a zero trash way? Let's take a look. As you can tell, with a little preparation, you can have a great picnic with very little trash. Give it a shot.
Good morning. We'll get started in just a moment.
This meeting is being recorded.
California moves closer to a circular zero-waste future.
Morning, everyone.
How CalRecycle grants connect communities while cutting waste. Plus, Californians recycled a record number of bottles and cans last year. And implementation updates a new program for packaging batteries and truth in labeling. CalRecycle's monthly public meeting starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for CalRecycle's May 2023 public meeting. This meeting is for Californians by Californians as we work together to protect our communities and fight climate change. CalRecycle is excited to announce new changes today. Let's watch a quick reminder before diving in.
El idioma no debe ser una barrera cuando se trata de proteger nuestro aire, nuestra agua y tierra. CalRecycle está transmitiendo simultáneamente esta junta pública en español e inglés. Puede encontrar el enlace en línea en español e inglés en la parte superior de nuestra página web, calrecycle.ca.gov. Language shouldn't be a barrier when it comes to protecting our air, water, and land. CalRecycle is simulcasting this meeting in English and in Spanish. Click the public meeting banner at the top of calrecycle.ca.gov for links to our webcasts in both English and Spanish.
If you're attending this meeting in person in the Byron Chair Auditorium, we have Spanish translation devices available. Let our team on the your left-hand side of the dais know if you need one.
Si asiste a esta junta en persona en Byron Share, tenemos dispositivos de traducción al español disponibles. Informe a nuestro equipo al lado izquierdo del mostrador de presentación ejecutiva si necesita uno. Gracias.
Our first agenda item today is the Director's Report. Director Rachel Mackey-Wagner joins us now with some important updates. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us in person and over our video casting. It is wonderful to be with all of you. Happy May Revise for those of you who are also following what the legislature is doing. Governor Newsom announced his May Revise and continues to balance California's budget and our important priorities, including those priorities here at CalRecycle, to address the incredible impact that waste has on climate change. I'm very proud that Governor Newsom has prioritized maintaining our commitment to climate change and to our circular economy, and that we can report that there were no cuts to in the May Revise to CalRecycle circular economy budget. So continue working together, and today we are announcing some of the grants that go to address our impacts on climate change and what we are doing to further our efforts to fight climate change and the devastating impacts of trash pollution. Along those lines, as many of you know, CalRecycle was given a number of new responsibilities last year through legislation in the budget, not the least of which is implementation of several new extended producer responsibility programs. And as such, CalRecycle has developed a new division of the circular economy. We are very excited about the division of the circular economy and the incredible new staff that we've brought into the department and their enthusiasm, who are becoming very quickly integral parts of the team, working with our materials management and local assistance division and our enforcement division to really strengthen and implement California's circular economy. And with that, I want to announce the head of the division of the circular economy is our own Zoe Heller. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Director Zoe Heller as our new division head. Oh, yes, I absolutely applaud that. She has an incredible team that she is growing right now to help California achieve the implementation of our SB 54 Extended Producer Responsibility Program, our new Battery Extended Producer Responsibility Program. She will be absolutely integral in developing the co-ops for the Beverage Container Recycling Program, as well as helping us oversee the evolution of our grants and loans program. So we are very excited about the growth that CalRecycle is experiencing. And with that, I will turn it back over to Maria for this month's meeting. Oh, actually, I want to make one other announcement. I feel like a heel. This week, we also expanded our Office of Audits, which for many of you is probably not very exciting. It's very exciting for us at CalRecycle because auditing is such an important part of the process of evaluating whether or not our programs are succeeding and if we're going in the right direction. And it really helps us help our regulated community stay on track and make sure that our programs are working. And with that, we also, just yesterday, our new Deputy Director for the Office of Audit started, Kevin Campbell. So he is not with us today. That's why I didn't think of mentioning it, but it is really important, and it's an important part of CalRecycle's expansion. So stay tuned. We are changing, we are transitioning, we are growing as a department, all to better serve the state of California. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. And CalRecycle is working to get more state funding into our communities to fight climate change and feed Californians in need. CalRecycle is reviewing applications for $154 million in new organics grant projects, as well as additional SB 1383 local assistance funding. So far, organics, recycling, and food recovery grants have invested $213 million to keep 4.9 million tons of organics out of landfills and provide 242 million meals to Californians in need. Take a look at this short video on how CalRecycle funding is making a difference for our communities.
Fresh, unsold food isn't trash.
Morning, everyone.
California is making sure surplus meals feed people, not landfills.
I use whatever I can use, and the rest you're not sure.
It's great. It's so helpful for the families on base. By funding food rescue groups like Helping Hand Worldwide, California is helping feed some of the 1 in 5 Californians who don't have enough to eat, cutting climate pollution from rotting food waste in landfills, and building systems for a zero-waste future.
CalRecycle, who gave us a very generous grant. Now we have an 18-foot truck, and it helps us do our part to recycle smart.
The benefits start multiplying from the first pickup at stores like Trader Joe's.
Most of these people are not going to be able to afford the pre-made Trader Joe's salad. These have a very short shelf life.
It's all fresh product. Then we pack it on here, and then the same day we deliver it to the senior housing, the military, or wherever our stop is that day.
More space to rescue, deliver, and carefully box over 500,000 more meals in just the first 2 years. You can see down here we have all the fruit and veggies, surplus food that fills a critical need in Orange and San Diego counties.
You never know who in your neighborhood is in need.
From seniors in Irvine.
Because Social Security Radio.
Several of them said, if it wasn't for this, I couldn't make rent.
To military families at Camp Pendleton.
Our paychecks don't go up depending on how many kids you have.
I'm a veteran, so I can tell you there's the families down there who can use it.
Helping Hand Worldwide caters to each community with diverse volunteers and staff. At every step, making sure nothing goes to waste.
There are spouses who work, so I will take the food home, and then people will come to my house and pick it up, or I take it to other families on base. Instead of feeling like they don't belong in their own community, now not only are they a part of their community, but they're leaders in the community.
Connecting Californians with healthy food and each other.
The first time, they don't look me in the eye. They keep their heads down, they're suffering from malnutrition, they have big rings under their eyes, their skin's gray. And within a couple of months, their skin has that nice, healthy glow on it.
Strengthening our communities with a helping hand.
Today, we're announcing an additional $4.2 million in funding for community composting projects and $6 million to assist local SB 1383 program implementation. Deputy Director Zoe Heller joins us now with those awards. Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning, Maria. I'm kind of tangled here. There we go. Okay. So today, CalRecycle is announcing 14 new awards for $6 million in SB 1383 local assistance funding. These budget investments are designed to help California cut landfill methane pollution by supporting local programs to achieve SB 1383 requirements. The latest projects will help communities cover the cost of new bins, education and outreach materials, record-keeping requirements, administration costs, and assistance to meet local procurement targets throughout the state. These 14 communities join the 455 who received previous SB 1383 local assistance funding. Eligibility included adopting an enforceable organics collection ordinance. These awards will be distributed on the condition the department receives items that we have requested. Also today, we're announcing awards for the second cycle of our Community Composting for Green Spaces program. CalRecycle is awarding $4.2 million in new funds to 8 regional projects. By creating and expanding local community composting sites, more Californians can work with their neighbors to cut climate pollution and improve shared spaces. With $1.5 million in funding, the first cycle of this grant program kept 5,400 tons of organics out of landfill, planted 488 trees, and cut climate pollution equal to taking 700,000 cars off the road for a year. A quick note on that CalRecycle plans to post the notice of funds for the oil payment program on May 25th. Up to $6 million will be available to help local cities and counties collect and recycle used oil and filters. Applications will be due on June 28th. We're also awarding $3 million to projects to boost beverage container recycling and cut litter in 13 communities. The beverage container recycling program's goal is to help communities meet the state's 80% beverage container recycling rate. To help cut litter and reach California's 80% beverage container recycling goal, these awards will fund things like water refill stations, CRV recycling bins, education and outreach, and expanding bottle and can recycling projects in underserved areas. I approved these awards based on program staff recommendation. Back to you, Maria.
California's recycled a record 19.5 billion beverage containers in 2022. That's more bottles and cans recycled than any other year since the program started in the 1980s. 2022 had a 70% beverage container recycling rate, and more than 482 billion, or nearly $500 billion, bottles and cans have been recycled since the beginning of California's bottle bill. You can find these latest figures published on our website. The Beverage Container Recycling Program also published new quarterly reports, one from our Certification and Registration branch and another from our Enforcement branch. You can find those linked to today's agenda. A quick reminder, you can submit your public comments on any of today's agenda items. Here's how.
California wants your input on recycling and trash pollution issues. Join CalRecycle's decision-making process by submitting a public comment on any of today's agenda items. Microphones are available for those of you in the room. If you're joining remotely, just click the public meeting banner at the top of our website, then click on the public comment portal to send us your feedback. Just visit calrecycle.ca.gov. We'll address public comments at the end of the meeting.
CalRecycle appreciates public comments from both remote and in-person participants. We often summarize written comments as appropriate and address light comments together. We welcome you to join us in the Cal EPA headquarters if you would like to give us your comments in person. Next on the agenda, Director Zoe Heller has new updates on California's Truth in Labeling Law and a new EPR program for loose batteries.
SB 343 passed in 2021 to promote truth in environmental advertising and prohibit false or misleading recycling claims. While CalRecycle does not determine the recyclability of products or packaging under SB 343, the department is required to gather data through studies. The request for proposals deadline just passed for CalRecycle's SB 343 material characterization study. That was yesterday. And the proposals for the recyclable material reclamation study are due May 26th. The request is posted on our contracts page. I'm going to give a little bit of context so that the difference between the two studies is clear. So the purpose of the reclamation study is to find out where various grades of materials wind up after they're produced by large volume transfer and processors. The study will gather information from organizations that receive the material including those that produce the final feedstock for end products. Please subscribe to our SB 343 listserv to get the latest updates sent directly to your email. Okay, now for the latest on AB 2440. CalRecycle is also working to implement the Responsible Battery Recycling Act of 2022. The law requires producers to establish a stewardship organization to safely collect and recycle loose batteries. Under the law, individual battery producers must submit a list of covered batteries and brands they sell or distribute in California to CalRecycle by June 30th, 2023. CalRecycle developed an optional reporting spreadsheet that you can access on our website, and we've also sent that out through our listserv. Battery industry partners can join CalRecycle's Battery Stewardship Listserv for updates on this program. Now, switching gears to covered electronic waste. Each year, CalRecycle must make sure payment rates in our covered electronic waste recycling program cover the average net cost of collecting and recycling covered devices. Adjustments must be determined by July 1st of 2023. The payment rates are informed by the annual net cost reports submitted by approved collectors and recyclers to the department. There are 282 collectors and 18 recyclers submitted reports for 2022. In addition to net cost report data, staff considered information including commodity management costs, rising inflation. Proposed rates were presented at an April 15th workshop, and staff recommends increasing the standard statewide recovery payment rate for approved collectors from 33 cents to 35 cents per pound for all covered e-waste, increasing the combined recovery and recycling payment rate for cathode ray tube devices, CRTs, from 85 cents to 98 cents per pound, and increasing the combined recovery and recycling rate for non-CRT devices from $1.03 a pound to $1.10 per pound. Staff recommends the director review the proposed payment rate increases and direct staff to make the necessary filings with the Office of Administrative Law to enact the recommended rate increases. You can find today's revisions on our website, and they're linked to today's agenda.
Thanks, Zoe. Now for an update on CalRecycle disaster recovery operations, let's check in with Deputy Director Heather Geldart. Good morning, Heather.
Thank you, Maria. We are approaching the final stage of debris recovery operations for the 2022 wildfires in Siskiyou County on the Oregon border. Structural debris removal was completed in April, and those 183 properties with damaged structures are going through the process of testing the soil for contamination, applying erosion control measures, and removing fire-damaged trees that are in the danger of falling on public properties. An additional 35 properties did not have destroyed structures but had hazard trees that require removal. In all, 93% of over 7,000 trees identified as a hazard to the public have been removed and directed to other purposes including mulch, wood chips, lumber, and biofuel. Of the 218 properties enrolled in the program, 89% have been inspected and returned to Siskiyou County and property owners for rebuilding and property owner occupation. While our disaster debris program is mostly associated with wildfires, our team stands ready to support any disaster that affects Californians. After the devastating winter storms, our team has been deployed to provide technical assistance to counties managing their own flood cleanups. Debris operations staffs are currently deployed to Merced, Tulare, Monterey, and Santa Barbara counties, where they all will provide technical guidance on debris removal contracting, FEMA reimbursement, safe waste disposal, and recycling and operational efficiency. Thank you. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Heather. Moving on to our pending solid waste and tire facilities permits and emergency waivers, Paulina Lawrence joins us here in the Byron Chair for a statewide update on facility permits.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, first off, you see me here every month, so I thought I'd give you a little introduction on what we do here at CalRecycle. The processing of solid waste facility permits is administered by CalRecycle in conjunction with the local enforcement agencies. There's approximately around 60, of which 7 cities and counties are actually, the enforcement agency is actually conducted by CalRecycle. A solid waste facility permit can be processed concurrent with or prior to other required permits. It is not, if not, a facility operations might be delayed without obtaining other state, local, or federal permits or approvals. You can find more information about the permit flow process on the department's webpage. Just go to the search bar and put in Permit Toolbox. The resources in the Permit Toolbox are organized by regulatory tiers, facility types, permit tasks, and tools, and application elements. If you have further questions, please reach out to CalRecycle's Permitting and Assistance Point of Contact, which is listed on the LEA Central webpage. Next up, I'm going to go to those solid waste facility permits that have been concurred on, and this is as per Public Resources Code 44009, in which the board or CalRecycle shall in writing concur or agree or object to the issuance, modification, or revision of any solid waste facilities permit within 60 days from the date of the department's receipt of any proposed solid waste facilities permit. So we had 3 this month. On April 26th, the department concurred on a modified solid waste facilities permit from Maxwell Transfer Station, located at 3852 Old Highway 99 West in Colusa County. Action was needed May 1st, 2023. The department also concurred on May 2nd, 2023, a standardized solid waste facilities permit for Tunison Pet Cemetery, located at 3700 Scally Road, and this is in Solano County. Action was needed May 4th, 2023. On May 12th, 2023, the department concurred on a revised solid waste facilities permit for San Francisco Solid Waste Transfer and Recycling Center, located at 510 Tunnel Avenue in San Francisco County. The permit action was needed June 25th, 2023. Continuing on this month's agenda is Aerojet Waste Consolidation Unit, located at 12353 White Rock Road. This is in Sacramento County. The permit action date was revised from May 9th to June 2nd, 2023. New to the agenda is Circle Green Tech Park, located at 17900 Sheep Creek Road. This is in San Bernardino County. It's a new compostable materials handling facility permit. Action is needed July 8th, 2023. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed design parameters. The proposed facility will be a mixed material composting facility. Hours of operations and material receiving are 24 hours per day, Monday through Sunday. The business office hours are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Monday through Sunday. The permitted maximum tonnage is 1,800 tons per day. The permitted traffic volume is 95 vehicles per day and 20 non-truck vehicles per day. Total permitted area is 72.2 acres and design capacity of 569,000 cubic yards. New and not on the agenda is Turlock Transfer, located at 1100 South Walnut Road. This is in Stanislaus County. It's a modified solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 22nd, 2023. This is one of the counties in which the department acts as the enforcement agency. Preliminary review of the application package includes the following design changes: addition of organics processing activities, construction of a new transfer processing building, incorporate updated documents that describe and/or restrict the operation of the facility, update enforcement agency conditions, and incorporate the updated transfer processing report. There'll be no change in the current permitted area, hours of operations, or maximum tonnage. Another facility, which is located in another CalRecycle's EA jurisdiction, is Santa Maria Transfer Station, located at 325 Camille Lane. This is in San Luis Obispo. It's a revised solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed August 10th, 2023. The permitted review of the application package includes the following proposed changes: receipt of refuse waste hours from Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Saturday, 5:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Employee hours are from Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Monday through Sunday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Maintenance hours are from Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Incorporate the updated transfer processing report, and with this one, there'll be no change in the current permitted area or maximum tonnage. The department did receive one emergency waiver since last month. This was granted on April 19th, 2023 by the Monterey County Health Department, Environmental Health Bureau, which houses the local enforcement agency. They granted an emergency waiver of the permitted tonnage and hours of operations until August 17th, 2023 for the Monterey Peninsula landfill. This was due to the emergency resulting from the severe winter storms throughout the state. Thank you, Maria.
CalRecycle wants your feedback as we implement circular economy reforms. The next informal SB 54 workshop is at 10 a.m. on May 31st in Byron Share Auditorium. It will be focused on source reduction and responsible end markets. You can participate in person or remotely. Sign up for SB 54 listserv for the latest information. Also, Rachel will appoint SB 54 Advisory Board members by July 1st. Thanks to everyone who submitted applications. On May 23rd, CalRecycle will also hold an SB 1013 workshop focused on the Glass Market Development Payment Program. It's part of the bottle bill reforms passed last year to strengthen California's circular economy for beverage containers, including wine and spirit glass bottles. Our next monthly SB 1383 chat with CalRecycle happens on May 24th at 1 p.m. This one is focused on edible food recovery of prepared foods. CalRecycle has a new events calendar at the top of our homepage. You can subscribe for updates on upcoming engagement opportunities. And now I want to let you know that you can let's see, you can find any of our agenda items today by linking to our public meeting from our homepage. And now we will move to public comments. Are there any comments in the room today? Oh, you can come on up and go to the microphones. Just one moment, we're going to turn on that microphone for you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Shirley Frericks from Nevada County. We have a small group called Waste Not, but we're working with the county. And I have a couple of overall questions having to do with enforcement, because I'm confused. I don't know how this works. Like, I went around maybe last year to see who's doing what with the checkout bag, you know. And there were stores and restaurants, different places that, you know, they could care less. They were not charging. They were charging more for paper than they were for plastic. And so I'm just wondering, you know, who's responsible for looking at that? Is it the city, the county? How does it get enforced?
Thanks, Shirley, for the question. That is an interesting statute. So the legislation SB 270 that was passed, well, over 10 years ago, I think, it required that retailers, grocers, charge that fee, but then gave them the latitude to figure out how to take back those bags and then ensure that they are recycled. It did not provide state agencies like CalRecycle or the Department of Environment on the local level the authority to enforce, but rather local departments of justice, so the Attorney General here at the state level and the district attorneys at the county level can take enforcement action. The Department of Justice here at the state level is currently doing an investigation on plastic bags and whether or not that the manufacturers and retailers are currently meeting the statutory requirements of that law. And I don't have further comment on that investigation. But I do know that the Attorney General is looking at this issue and based on his press conference, shares your concerns.
Okay. So essentially what I hear is that I should go like to the county district attorney? Is that what
The
you
county
said?
district attorney could take action against the retailers in Nevada County if the retailers were not meeting the statutory obligations, or could coordinate with the Attorney General at the state level on his investigation if they so choose.
Okay. But I'm particularly concerned because now we have this pre-checkout bag mandate that's coming up, when, 2 years from now or something like that? When there'll be no more pre-checkout bags and the veggie bags and those little things.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a huge one. You know, you see people just go, oh, womp, womp, womp. And, you know, every one little potato goes in one. And, you know, anyway, so we really need to deal with that one. So I wanted to find out, you know, kind of ahead of the game, you know, who's supposed to be looking at that. Yeah.
Well, and like I said, I think the Attorney General's investigation will actually shed a lot of light on implementation of that law as well. Yeah. And so I look forward to seeing what he finds.
When is that? I mean, when should I be looking for that? Or
I don't know. You can go on his website. Again, we did some initial conversations with him as he was embarking on his investigation, but it's as it is a investigation of another law enforcement agency. We're not participating in it.
Okay. All right, good. Oh, okay, I'll start there.
Yeah.
The other piece of enforcement is around the beverage container thing. And what I'm aware of in our county and our cities is it ain't happening. You know? And because last time I looked into this, again, it was like a couple of years ago before this last bill was passed. And everybody said, you know, we'd rather pay the fine. You know, we don't have the staff. We don't have whatever about. How are we dealing with that? How are we getting this? I mean, and you know, like our group, we're looking at why don't we do the reverse vending machines? You know, that sounds really cool because we have one facility, one place at the moment that takes it, and that's like outside of town, and you know, people from that side of town have to drive 45 minutes to that side of town and wait in line. And I mean, it's really not a good deal. So why bother, right? But anyway. So, I mean, yeah, so I'm a little confused about how is this processing? I know it's probably not due for a while, but how is it processing?
Well, no, actually, so SB 1013 that was passed, that was authored by Senator Atkins, Pro Tem Atkins last year, really goes to address a number of different challenges. But on this particular challenge, she heard statewide that this was an issue, rural areas, urban areas. And so 1013 actually changed the system, and with the development and implementation of our regs will change the system where grocers will either have to take back in store or be part of a cooperative that is taking back for every region of the state if there isn't a recycling center serving a particular convenience zone. So we are working on development of those regs. As Maria announced, we are workshopping the development of those regs right now, and those will be rolling out very, very shortly. I think a lot of our grocer partners are very excited to have an opportunity to participate in a system that works better for them and works better for their consumers. So we're really excited. So that $100 a day will no longer be an option.
Yeah, right.
And so that while we continue to enforce that statute and notices are going out as we speak, letting grocers know that they have this obligation, and we will continue to enforce that, I feel like the evolution of this system is really going to be the answer for California consumers.
Yes, good. And
we're
so
excited. It's going to allow
now,
a lot of technology to enter, whether it's reverse vending machines or mobile recycling, really more regional and community-based solutions that are catering to the community that is being served. So you're not waiting in line 45 minutes and driving clear across town or whatever, that we're ensuring that we're developing systems that work for the people that are using them.
And who in our county government or cities, what department should be working on this?
Well, so it really depends. I mean, city councils and county boards of supervisors can be involved in this. But on the Beverage Container Recycling Program is a state program run by CalRecycle with the stakeholders. So that's beverage manufacturers and the retailers and grocers. And it's not really run on the county level. We do have some county pilot projects where we have provided grants to some counties that have applied to try to run their own programs with the grocers in their area. But we are really transitioning to this new model that allows unserved areas of the state to be better served in a more tailored system.
That sounds good. You know,
I think so.
Of course, we're a small county, and like, you know, when do we get to be served on this kind of thing? You know, I keep hearing, well, you're a little too small for it, you know.
Right.
Well, okay. But It's important everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shirley. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Courtney Brown, the California Alliance for Community Composting. First off, I just wanted to express a very deep gratitude from over 120 community groups who will be participating with our organization as part of the next round of community composting for green spaces. Today, I actually come with a different comment, and it's hard to be critical at the time where we are also so successful. But I think this is some extremely important feedback about how CalRecycle can better support and work with community groups. As we provided in July last year, we were aware that the 10% withholding on every reimbursement request would cost us a line of credit in order to make it through the full 24 months of the program. We're unaware that the 25% cash advance was not going to be offered this round. That was all of the applicants I'm aware of that applied to the program were also under that understanding. So I think that you would have had no applicants if all of us had actually read the real fine details about how this is going to roll out. So that brings me to the current contemporary issue that we were having right now, which is access to working capital. For us, that's another $1.1 million that we need to raise in order to carry out the implementation of the program. We believe that this outside funding can be better spent on direct program-related expenses or the indirect business development needs that are not eligible for reimbursement under this grant program. And I just really want to express how burdensome it is for a small nonprofit to garner access to working capital, and that to allocate it to pay expensive loan interest rates, which are continuing to rise, and not be able to use it to directly support the low-income and disadvantaged people, local businesses, and community groups is an impediment to this program. So I am encouraging and offering out a partnership with CalRecycle to access CalCAP's Small Business Loan Assistance Program, the Collateral Loan Program, and the iBank of California, which runs the Climate Catalyst Fund. All of these, we need to partner with a state agency in order to access that working capital. And they will give up to about $5 million, depending on what our collateral is. So I hope that you take this suggestion very seriously, because we have about 60 days to be able to seize this opportunity, and we would not want it to slip by. So thank you very much for your time.
Courtney, thank you so much for your comment, and it is welcome criticism. I think it's really important that when our stakeholders are having challenges working with the state and with our programs, that we use this forum as an opportunity to explore solutions. So thank you for exploring solutions. We are, of course, happy to work with you on how to do that. As many of you know, our grant programs at the state level are run on a reimbursement basis. It is the way the state ensures that state monies are spent for the intended purposes. I know for these relatively small projects that are so dependent on every single dollar, penny, dime that is contributed right at the start date, that it becomes really critically important. So we are happy to work with you and try to explore a number of different solutions to figure out how to help you guys do the important work that you guys are doing on behalf of the state.
Thank you. I'll be following up tomorrow.
Perfect. Great.
Thanks.
Any other comments in the room? Okay, now we can go to Chief Deputy Director Mindy McIntyre for the comments through our public comments portal.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, first comment comes from Jesus, does not have an affiliation, and asks about when the July 1 PET processing payments will be calculated and released, and indicates that they expect an increase.
This was a question on pot.
Yes.
I think Amy's in the room.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, where did she go?
Thank you, Jesus. CalRecycle will publish the processing payments for all material types by the June 15, 2023 deadline.
All right, Valerie Lake from One Earth Recycling asks about how One Earth Recycling can get feedback on the innovation ideas sent in earlier this month.
Thank you for submitting comments during the Dealer Cooperatives Workshop. Staff are reviewing and will take your ideas under consideration. Thank you.
There are 2 comments from Susan Collins from Container Recycling Institute. She asks about the May revise, which includes 2 loans from the Beverage Container Fund, one to the general fund and another to the hazardous control waste account, and asking about CalRecycle's thoughts and whether we've given guidance. Okay. To the hazardous waste account. Has CalRecycle given approval of these loan amounts? Has CalRecycle advised the legislature that these loans may accelerate the date of proportional reduction and significantly affect recycling activities in the program?
Thank you, Susan, for your questions and your constant engagement with this program, which we really, really, really appreciate. It is the administration's view that these loans can be sustained by the Beverage Container Recycling Program and by the fund. And the Department of Finance, CalRecycle, CalEPA, and the legislature are all, as required by statute, continue to monitor the health of the fund. The administration believes, quite strongly that we can meet all of our current and upcoming mandates and commitments from the fund. And if that changes, then we'll be prepared to adjust.
Susan's next comment notes the timeline for SB 1013 and that it does not have a task associated with providing public education about the new inclusion of wine and spirits in the program, and suggests that this is an important task that needs to be added to the implementation timeline.
I really appreciate that comment. I think that's really, really critically important for all of our new programs, our existing programs, as they are evolving and changing. So we will absolutely incorporate that into our timeline and how we envision doing that. Thank you for the comment.
The next comment is from Jordan Wells from the National Stewardship Action Council about the carpet recycling program. It's quite an extensive comment with lots of information and data, which we appreciate and we'll look at. The question is about the luxury vinyl tile and its increase in California, and that it is not included in the carpet program, which ultimately may result in reduced funding for the carpet program, and request that the program be expanded, also referencing the Aguiar-Curry bill that is in the legislature this year.
Thank you, Jordan. And again, we really, really appreciate our stakeholders who are very invested and involved in our programs, giving us such incredible feedback. Jordan, as you know, the statute is very specific as to what kind of materials are included. And if the legislature chooses to expand that program and the governor signs that legislation, we would be, of course, happy to adjust our program. But as it is, the carpet program contains the materials that are currently in it, and we will continue to implement that program to the best of our ability until it changes.
And no other comments.
Thanks to everyone who participated in today's public meeting. As I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to find any more information on the events for the upcoming month, you can find them on our new events calendar at the top of our homepage. And you can subscribe for updates for upcoming engagement opportunities. And then we'd like you to know that you can find the videos for today's meeting posted on CalRecycle's YouTube page by the end of the day tomorrow. And as we work to make our communication as accessible and inclusive and relevant as possible for Californians, we welcome your feedback through CalRecycle's public comment portal. Have a great rest of your morning and week, and we will see you next month. Thank you.